Hey, what's going on, guys? Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor here. In today's YouTube video, we're going to do something a little bit different because I got, a good friend of mine, one of my students, his name is Jaromy Tagg. And, I thought it'd be fun to just do a little Zoom call with Jaromy. Jaromy's up in Eastern Washington and originally started investing in 2017, has since gone off and done well over 100 deals. He just picked up his first rental property. He's a very successful wholesaler, has done some rehabbing, creative deal structuring, like pretty much the gamut in a very short amount of time. And I just thought it was funny. I get a lot of questions from you guys or feedback from you guys on this channel just saying, hey, I want to talk to some of your students and I want to get some different perspectives. So I thought it'd be fun to bring Jaromy on today. Hopefully within 15 minutes or so, we can break some cool stuff down, talk about what he's doing in his local market, what he's finding is working in today's market as far as marketing and deal structuring, and just maybe get his insight on where he thinks things are headed. Kick this bad boy off. And if you get something from this, don't forget to smash the like button. Also, if you want to network with Jaromy or you ever get deals in the Eastern Washington area, you ever want to, do some co-wholesaling, anything like that, drop me a comment down below and I'll try and connect the dots so that way you guys can do some business. All right, let's dive on in. Jaromy, what's going on, big dog?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, man. So, we call you the rock star. You know that? He's our rock star student. Tell us quickly, like within a minute or so, like a little bit about your background. I know what I love about Jaromy is he went from like musician and a guitar teacher to badass real estate investor in like the shortest amount of time. And you're starting to blend everything together, which I think is a really cool part of your story. So give us a quick 1 minute breakdown, where you come from and how did you get into real estate investing?
Yeah, I'm out here in the Tri-Cities, and just real quick, basically started as a musician. I had kind of a troubled youth, troubled past, and I didn't think I could get a job doing anything else. So I said, hey, I'm just going to play guitar for a living, and started teaching guitar. And that's where I started to cut my teeth, learning a bit about business, about sales. But I quickly realized that the margins were really slim in it. And fast forward to connecting the dots with wholesaling, I had no clue what real estate was. I didn't even know what earnest money was. And once I got a hold of your program, I was like, wow, this seems doable. I had no clue what I was doing, but got my first deal under contract and then got enrolled in your mentoring program. And 3 months later, I stopped teaching guitar and went full-time into the real estate space.
So from the time you first heard about wholesaling to the time you started getting some traction, like what was that experience like? Because there's a lot of new investors that get really excited about wholesaling, then they go down this education rabbit hole. Like, how did you start that transition from learning about it to actually doing it?
It's a good question. It was a roller coaster, and really, I joke and say I was just naive enough to believe in myself enough to make it work. And partly I think I didn't overthink it. There was a lot of times where I couldn't sleep at night, thinking about, is this going to work or not? And basically I just felt, I could do it. And there were times where I just figured it out, the programs, the education, all that's great, but nothing will teach you like actually just rolling up your sleeves and going and doing it. And so those first, 3 to 6 months were just me getting just punched in the face over and over and over again, figuratively, of course. But, the first time I went down to the title company, I took this purchase and sale agreement. And they're like, oh, do you have earnest money? And I still remember, I was like, oh, that program said something about earnest money. And I was like, I've got to be honest with you guys. I don't know what that is. Like, you need to write a check. It says you put $500 here, so you need to give us that. And I was like, $500? Like, that's a lot of money for me right now. So anyways, I bit the bullet at that time and did it. And it was, you just figure things out and ask questions and keep moving forward.
So what do you think are some success habits or principles that you've developed along the way that have served you well as a real estate investor?
Simplify everything. It doesn't have to be hard. Everybody's looking for this next fix. Everybody's looking for this next, marketing channel or this next program or whatever it is that's going to benefit them. And believe me, there's a lot of things that will benefit you, but what I do is not sexy whatsoever. It's so basic. It's call sellers, find a motivated seller, put a deal together, sell it to an end buyer. And figuring out how to do the intricacies along the way. But if you just compartmentalize it as simple as possible like that, and you just understand that you're just going to go through those steps day in and day out, we call them with my group revenue generating activities, and you just focus on those, and you don't focus on what's the special list, what's the special dialer, what's the special whatever. It's like pick up the phone or go knock on a door and just start making it happen.
One of the things that I was challenged with was, obviously I'm married, I have kids. There's a very big responsibility there that supersedes any business. And I was struggling with this concept of balance for so long. As an entrepreneur, this balance is like this mythical concept that we all strive for. It's like, I want to be well-rounded. I want to have health and fitness and my love and my friends and my family, and my relationship with God and all this stuff. But what you find is if you really want to get your business off the ground and scale it and become super successful, is like you got to give up a lot of time trying to balance on those other things and shift it over to your business. And so I sat there and I looked at my life, and one of the first things I thought of was like, man, how many times am I letting my wife down by not being available to pick the kids up or go get milk or stop by the store and grab something for her, or whatever those little things are that normally in a normal relationship is you want to be helpful and you want to be able to provide like that. And so one of the first things I did to help alleviate some of that was I hired my wife an executive assistant. And I remember pitching the idea to her, and she was like, what do I need an assistant for? Like, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Like, you go get an assistant. I'm like, no, trust me. And we sat there one night, we listed out all the things that she could potentially need help with, from cooking, cleaning, grocery store, washing cars, asking for things from me, whatever those things were. And we ended up with a pretty big list. And you realize, like, dang, your woman does a lot. Like, there was a lot of things on that list. And we went on the hunt and we found somebody, and it was a game changer. Like, I highly recommend to anybody, you're not going to find balance, but you can take that advice from Jaromy and lean in on those things that you can start to check up the list that alleviate the stress. There was never a moment in time my wife was like, man, I love to go grocery shopping, right? Like, if she has to do it, she doesn't like to do it. If she wants to do it, then it's therapeutic. But what she really wants to do is go to yoga for an hour and a half per day and have some time for meditation and some time to work on her own projects and stuff. I found that my relationship with her has 10x because she now has time to have her own thing versus just serving the family. And I think you nailed it, dude. Spot on that one. So right now, world has completely shifted, right? Like, people are looking for, like, what is the path forward? How do I bounce back? If I'm a wholesaler or a creative real estate investor, what are some things I should be doing right now as far as marketing to get more deals after lockdown?
100% cold calling. Cold calling is amazing right now. We keep it super simple. I started actually really cold calling myself too. We're getting anywhere from 15 to 20% connection rates compared to before. And little tip real quick, instead of just using the same pitch of, hey, 123 Main Street, just seeing if you wanted a cash offer, blah, blah, blah. Now what we're saying is, hey, we know it's a crazy time in the world. We're acknowledging that. And we're saying, we're just trying to get a pulse on the market. Have you thought about buying or selling any properties lately? And what this has done is we're actually picking up a lot of buyers from this. We're picking up a lot of sellers from this. And what we're finding is it's very polarizing. It's very black and white right now. And people are telling us, you're actually having conversations with people like how they feel. So we're taking notes of, okay, people are either really wanting to sell If people need to sell right now, they're selling. If they're even thinking about it, they're waiting. And so now we have this pulse on our market, and cold calling is really working. Direct mail is really working. Bandit signs are really working. Text messaging is a good supplemental, but it's, I think it has a bit of a shelf life, and a lot of people are fishing in that pond still because they're not afraid to pick up the phone. So I would start, if I were to recommend anything in that order, is cold calling and direct mail. And then if you can do it in your market with Bandit signs legally, you should be doing those as well. They're cheap, they're easy, very easy to scale.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Bandit signs is I'll have a sign that'll sit out there for like 2-3 years, and just randomly I'll get a deal from it. It's like that one lone sign that just made it and stayed out there forever. All right, so skip tracing, right? So you're buying lists, you're skip tracing the list. And by the way, if anybody wants to skip trace, you can go to cleverskiptracing.com and get phenomenal skip tracing. So you pull a list. What are some lists that you're targeting right now?
We're keeping it super simple. So we have a driving for dollars list. We're doing absentee owners, and then we have our niche list, the tax delinquents, the bankruptcy. We're using the vacant list, pre-foreclosures, tax liens, just a general liens list, unknown equity list. And then from there, we'll kind of stack those against the absentee owners, and we'll separate them. We'll hit all those absentee owners, and then we'll hit the general absentee owners list. And then we even hit the high equity owner occupied list. We're hitting basically everybody, but we triage it. So we'll hit the niche list first, and then we'll hit the secondary list, and then we'll hit that tertiary list of high equity home owner occupied. And I really actually like that list. Even though it's a really wide list, there's a lot of gold. And we've been doing a lot of deals with owner occupied right now. And to be frank, I'd prefer it that way, because if they have to move, they have to move, and you don't have to deal with the tenants right now.
And so you're pulling the list, you're skip tracing, and then are you using a dialer, or are you just calling manually?
Yeah, we use Mojo Dialer and Zen Dialer. We've used them all. I prefer Mojo. Super simple, super easy. So triple line, and you can dial about 100 dials an hour.
Yep. All right. So Mojo, and then now you're banging the phones. Are you sending text messages?
Yeah, we'll send some text through Batch. They have a text platform that's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's great. That's the same one that we use. And then direct mail. What's your frequency?
So we'll do it in 3 steps. Right now I'm doing 2, because we're hitting so many people cold calling right now and getting such a great connection rate. So the first list gets weekly, and then we'll take the absentee owners in that secondary list, and we'll hit that bi-weekly. And so a little bit wider gets about bi-weekly. And the first niche list, they get the holiday card, which is like super, super rocking for us. And then the secondary ones, we send just a regular yellow letter, get cash quick for your house type of deal.
Okay. And are you using Go Big Printing to send out those holiday cards?
Yeah, I love Go Big. I've tried a few different spots. Go Big is awesome. They're great.
Yeah. And for anybody watching this, if you let them know that you're a Clever Investor student, they'll give you an awesome setup and discount. Been a great strategic partner of ours for a really long time, and we do all our mailings out through Go Big. And cool. So dude, you have the whole thing together. Now I'm really proud of you, because you're at a level now where you're clipping 6-figure months.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've been doing some 6-figure months.
I mean, that's a major milestone to go from, guitar player, dreaming about being a musician, to teaching guitar, to finally getting into real estate, cracking the code. I mean, you've done a good job, man. You've invested in yourself. You've gone to all of our live events. You've gone through every level of mentoring that I offer. You've gone and got other people's courses, and you've really just immersed yourself into this world. But you took action on that information. You didn't get stuck in the classroom. You immediately went out, started using the information, trial and error, just getting out there, trying different things, seeing what works, building your repertoire, building your local brand, building your internal team, building your external power team. Within 18 months, you were able to get to a little bit of a scale, getting those consistent deal flow. Now you're at 6-figure months, which is a massive milestone. So what's next? Where are you going? What's the vision? Because I know when I talk with you, there's always a struggle between like growth and making money and like domination and lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think so. In 5 years from now, my plan is to have enough rentals and enough rental income, and not just enough. I have a number in my head that I want to hit, and then obviously your net worth sheet should follow suit with that. But having that passive income, and then from there, basically go out and get hired with a band, like a big band, or an upcoming band, and go do the big tour thing that I always wanted to do. But to get there and where our market's headed, rewind all the way down to here at ground level. Yeah, I'm just staying steady, Cody. I'm keeping it super real. And instead of trying to scale and do more, I'm looking at things like my net margins to owner. Okay. I'm looking at how can I cut my marketing spend down more? How can I create a better tax liability for myself? And then how can I start raising more money for private money to buy more rentals and take down the best deals myself and buy those rentals. And with that, just staying steady and keeping the processes so lean and so simple. So really what I want to do is just keep those margins nice and tight and grow with steady lifestyle and have the people around me to where I'm alleviated. I don't have to go grocery shopping. I don't have to cook my food anymore. I don't have to mow my lawn. I don't have to clean my house. I don't have to do those things. So I can work really hard on the things that matter for, 6 to 10 hours a day, depending on my day. And then when I'm done, I'm done. And I can just enjoy my life.
I love it. Well, listen, man, I just want to say I am so proud of you for how far you've come, to be able to watch your growth in such a short amount of time, to see you step up as a leader within the Clever Investor community, to watch you speak on stages and hone your speaking capabilities, now to see you just absolutely dominating in your local market, setting standards and helping the next person up as well. You've done a great job teaching other people how to break free of the rat race and just get going with their real estate businesses, and always just answering questions inside the community. So thank you for being you and for taking some time and talking with us. If you guys want to connect with Jaromy, I'm going to drop some links to his social down below. And any last parting words you want to leave the Clever Investor community before we head out of here?
Man, I really appreciate you too, Cody. And if you guys want to do this, just go and do it. Keep it super simple. If a guy like me can do it, I'm not special. I'm not a snowflake, just a regular kid who grew up, with a regular family and wanted to have an above average life. And I always wanted that. And finally I found a vehicle like real estate to do it. And if you just look at it like that as just a vehicle, and you go out and you look at how can I serve these people that I'm talking to? How can I serve these sellers? How can I make an actual impact to these people? The money is going to follow, and it's going to come raining down on you. And when it does, it feels really good. So, just go out there and serve people ultimately. All the money, all the freedom, all that's great. But at the end of the day, when you really are making a difference in people's lives that are having challenges with their house, it feels really good.
It's awesome. Great advice. All right, guys, if you liked this type of interview or this type of video structure, just drop us a comment down below. Let me know. I'll, pull in more of my students, and we'll do some more of these type of conversations. And obviously, if you're in the Eastern Washington area, and you ever want to do some deals with your new friend Jaromy, you guys know how to get a hold of him. Bring him some deals. He's got a great buyer's list, and he'll help you get those deals pushed to the closing table.
Absolutely.
That's all I have for you on this one. I am Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor, signing off for now. Until next time, take care. Comb your hair. We out.